Hello, I'm David Chaston with 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz. This week, get everything you need to know in 90 seconds at 9 o'clock. With news, a bank CEO trounced his inquisitors in Canberra yesterday. But first, this morning's dairy auction has brought a disappointment. Lower prices are back. They were 3% lower in US dollars, 1.5% lower in New Zealand currency terms. The price weakness was across the board, with almost every product type reporting lower returns. Whole milk powder was down 3.8%. This stumble was noticed on currency markets, taking 1/3 of a cent off the New Zealand dollar, which was already weakening from a stronger greenback. But stepping back and looking at the overall trend, today's results only represent a minor correction to a rising track. Rising protectionism, record debt levels, and continuing economic malaise in wealthy countries will drag on global growth next year, despite a turnaround in several key emerging markets, the IMF said today in its October edition of its World Economic Outlook. Anti-trade sentiment will limit world growth to just 3.1% this year and 3.7% next year, they forecast. While it is a first world problem keeping trade open, it is not one they see emerging in markets in developing economies, where they actually raised their trade forecast by 0.4% to 4.1% in 2017. In India, their central bank has cut its key policy interest rate to 6.25%, a 25 basis points reduction to its lowest level in nearly 6 years. This is some encouragement for their economy away from high financial cost burdens. In Australia, most observers seem to agree that the CBA boss trounced the parliamentarians in their first attempt to grill a bank boss over culture and scandals. The 4-hour effort showed up the inquisitors as pretty ineffective, including those from opposition parties. Today, bosses from NAB and ANZ are in the firing line. Tomorrow it will conclude with the Westpac CEO. We are live streaming these hearings. In Vancouver, their housing market has tipped to one where sales are drying up fast. The combination of a series of local, state and now federal government buyer restrictions has spooked buyers completely, and sales volumes are down by 1/3. Price declines are expected to follow. An inability to sell is crimping many locals, a new experience for them. In New York, US Treasury 10-year yield has risen again today, and quite sharply, and is now at 1.68%. US benchmark oil price is a little higher too, now at $49 a barrel, while the Brent benchmark is now just on $51 a barrel. The gold price, however, has collapsed today, down more than $40 in one session, and now at $1,269 an ounce. That wipes out 4 straight months of slow and steady gains. New Zealand dollar is lower today on a rising US dollar and the lower dairy prices. It is now at 72 US cents. On the cross rates, it is 94.6 Aussie cents and 64.3 Euro cents. The TWI is now at 75.4. I'm David Chaston. That was 90 at 9, brought to you by interest.co.nz.